Hare Krishna everyone, thank you all again for participating in these videos. Basically what we're doing is mantra meditation, and mantra is so powerful and it's actually been lost unfortunately over a long period of time. And but it was very much practiced in ancient cultures that do not resemble at all what we have. As far as I'm aware, what we have at the moment, which is modern Western culture, which is all about, basically, as far as I can see and am aware and have heard as well, work by consume die, work by consume die. And that's it. And just enjoy as much cardboard flavory happiness as you can through things and through people, and then we call those things memories, and then that's life. And a lot of people, I'm assuming, at the end of their life, they just think, as long as I did some good, but is that really living? One of the ancient yoga and wisdom texts of ancient India explain that, that kind of life is simply breathing, not living, and that there is a difference and there is a distinction there between just breathing and living. So this mantra meditation is what can actually bring life into the body, which is not really us, according to these yoga and meditation ancient texts of ancient India. And they explain that we are actually beyond body and mind. And that can seem a little bit ridiculous because for a lot of us, at least, including myself, for most of our life, up until now, we've been identifying with body and mind, and that's who we thought we were, and maybe who we think we are still. And when we think, thoughts come. When we move the body moves. So why isn't it? As the ancient yoga and meditation texts of ancient India explain, that these are simply vehicles, and for anyone who knows what a vehicle is, it's something that a driver controls. So there's the vehicle and then there's the driver. So the yoga and meditation texts of ancient India, these ancient texts, this ancient wisdom and ancient knowledge explain that the driver is soul, which is actually us, beyond these vehicles, which are body and mind. So this mantra meditation connects us right back to our real self, soul, beyond this body and mind. And when you think about it, if your arm gets cut off, and then the arm gets taken away, or whatever happens to that arm, you're limbless, basically. Was that arm you? Throughout all of these changes, the cutting and pasting and what a lot of people are doing these days, to their face and body, we notice and we can witness, if we're conscious enough to it, that there's something that's always staying the same. Now, is that the mind? A lot of people may think, I'm my mind. The mind is always changing, and sometimes the mind can think really horrible things. So is that really us? And in dreams when we sleep, sometimes we might have nightmares and horrors. Is that us? I'm not too well versed, I meant to say, with the difference between conscious states and unconscious states. It's an elaborate science. But either an unconscious state or a conscious state is always changing. We can see in dreams, we dream different things every single night usually. And the thoughts are always coming and going. So is that us? And as an exercise I'm going to perform now all together with all of us. So I'll say an instruction and feel free to employ that instruction or take on that instruction. So point to your nose. You can just follow me if you like. Point to your cheek, point to your eye, point to your forehead, point to your ear, point to your lip, point to your chest, point to your arm, point to your hand. Now point to you. So some of us might be pointing to our chest or where our heart is, our physical heart. Now is that you, or is that your chest and your heart? And we usually use the term your and mine and my, which just, as far as I'm aware, describes that it's belonging to someone. So what is that someone? We have our chest, our hand, our eye, our mouth. What about us, who is the owner of all of that? So the yoga and meditation texts of ancient India, these ancient yoga wisdom texts of ancient India, explain that it's soul, that's us. And we might think, well, big deal, you know, I still have to go about my life. When you finally come in touch with your real self soul, your whole life changes. The way you act, the way you think, your character, everything. And it's just a mental concoction. And I keep posing, I may pose these questions like this because these questions may easily arise in minds, and it's best to not follow anything blindly, because that's, in my experience, not sustainable. And that's also a mental concoction as well. So is this a placebo or a mental concoction? As far as I'm aware, it would be if those who were practicing this mantra meditation, this Hare Krishna Maha mantra meditation, were experiencing different results that didn't correlate with one another. But you see in these great souls who still walk the earth, who have been practicing this Hare Krishna Maha mantra meditation for almost their whole lives, if not a little less or a little more, maybe, but for years and years and years usually, the same results, you know, in their character, in their actions, and their realizations. So this is a systematic procedure, a systematic science. And that might seem a little scary as well, like, oh, like that's too overwhelming. All it takes is one mantra. That's all. It's very simple, and you keep everything. My advice would be to keep everything the same the way it is. The way you work, where you work, what you do, your hobbies, your likes, your dislikes, everything. And then you notice everything changes just through this simple process of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And for those of you who don't know what this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is, you might be like, Giselle, that's my name by the way, Giselle, what are you talking about? Like, what is this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? It's comprised of 3 names, Hare, Krishna, and Rama, and then those names are uttered or composed, I should say, repeatedly into a 16-named mantra, basically. And this mantra, it can be whispered, talked, mouthed, shouted, screamed, sung, thought. You know, you don't have to have a hearing ear or a working mouth to be able to participate in this process. It's completely unconditional. And you know, we can think of so many extreme situations. Or what if I'm being abused physically or mentally? What if, you know, I get kicked out of my house? And the light may flicker on and off, just like everything else in material life, flickers on and off. In case we haven't noticed, we probably have, because we're all pretty smart and intelligent. We have the consciousness, the capacity to participate full-heartedly in this process of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra meditation. And this mantra, it reconnects you with your real self. It opens up your heart, it opens up your mind, and not in a wishy-washy, ooey, owie, sorry, I meant to say warm, fuzzy way. You start to be able to think deeply in ways that you couldn't before. So the other way in which this process of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is not a placebo or a mental concoction is that when you start, even just with one mantra, that's all it takes. And the other thing that helps is putting your heart into it. Why? You know, why do I have to use anything of me? Why can't it just be the mantra? It can, you know. And for those who do this process mechanically, eventually they want to use their heart because it's softening the heart so much that you can't help but then use your heart. So that's the power of this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And yeah, so why should I use anything of myself? like my heart, for instance, my heart's been trashed and smashed and crushed, generally speaking, by what's described in the ancient yoga and meditation texts of ancient India as the material energy. All of these happenings in our life basically is just like battering us from left, right, and center. And still, this process of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is not about removing yourself from the material energy, like your life, basically. You still engage in what's described as the field of activity, the work, the relationships, all of these things. You simply add the mantra, this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, this ancient sacred mantra, not a new age made-up mantra by some random, that's charging millions of dollars. This is free and it's full of bliss. You simply add this Hare Krishna mantra to your life as it is, just like you would add maybe strawberries to a plain vanilla ice cream, and then that plain vanilla ice cream just gets turned into this ripple of strawberry and vanilla maybe, or something like that, and it ends up being very amazing. So I invite everyone to add the strawberries, or whatever metaphor you want to use, the gulab jamuns, the chocolate, if you eat chocolate, or if you like chocolate, or any sweet or sour, whatever you like, basically, into your life as it is, and then just watch it transform. And that can be maybe like, oh no, that's scary, I don't want my life to transform. Are we being satisfied currently by our life as it is? That's a question that we must ask ourselves. And are we okay with just being battered about by the material energy, the field of activity, and just being very like, oh, I don't care, and whimsical about my life, and just whatever happens? The yoga and meditation texts of ancient India explain these ancient texts of ancient India, this ancient wisdom of ancient India explain that this is very unintelligent, that this human form of life is meant for self-realization, realizing that you are soul, going deeper into yourself, deeper into feeling genuine connection and satisfaction, beyond body and mind, which is just like Play-Doh. The body is a lump of chemicals according to the yoga and meditation texts of ancient India, these ancient wisdom texts of ancient India, and so is the Play-Doh. So are we just satisfied with like molding and moving around bits of matter and calling that life, and just thinking, well, what matters most is the meaning I give it? Well, that's another mental concoction. So this is about coming out of all of the fuzziness and confusion and bringing clarity, and not just clarity, which is important, a combination of clarity but also deep, deep heart and connection and satisfaction. Beyond the alcohol and the gaming, whether it's on PlayStation or at a pool table, doesn't matter, same thing. You're moving matter around either way. And is this about, oh, I must give up, everything? No, you simply add this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra into your life as it is, don't change a thing, and you start to naturally, without any repression or like mechanical, like kind of thing, you lose your taste, what's described as the lower tastes, the pale things, in comparison to what you can get out of this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra chanting. So, and those are paraphrases from these ancient yoga meditation texts of ancient India. So we'll begin with some Hare Krishna Maha Mantra chanting, which is a meditation. And these talks are also meditations, meditations for the mind and soul and heart. It's all holistic, it has to be, otherwise it's not sustainable, in my experience. And like I was saying before, as far as I'm aware and can remember, this Hare Krishna Mantra can be sung, one of many different ways in which this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra can be expressed. And I'll just say this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in talking style 3 times, maybe, so we can get the hang of it. I'll say it once, and then maybe we can say the second and third Hare Krishna Maha Mantra enunciation together, just so we all get the hang of it. So again, it's comprised of 3 names, Hare, Krishna and Rama, and then constructed and comprised, I meant to say, sorry, into a 16-worded / named mantra. Mantra means to free the mind. Man means mind, and tra means to free. So it goes Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And a second time, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And a third time, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. 3 names, Hare Krishna and Rama. And so this will be done. This particular session and meditation session will be done in singing style. But feel free to engage with this meditation in whatever way you like, in whatever way is comfortable. Whether while I'm singing this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you want to whisper, shout, scream it, mouth it or think it, or you're welcome to do call and response style, or sing every single mantra with me. Do it with your heart as much as you can, and we'll begin. And I'm going to use my hands as instruments to keep rhythm. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Maha, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Na, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, oh, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, oh, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, oh, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, oh, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama, oh, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Thank you, everyone, for your participation. Hearing is participating, mouthing is participating, vocalizing, sorry, I meant to say is participating. This is an unconditional process. You can take this process of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra with you. Keep it, please, in your, if you so desire and like to, I meant to say, sorry, keep it in your front pocket, your back pocket, under your cap, in your mouth, and there's nothing but benefit. Your life will change, so I meant to say, and transform in ways that you cannot possibly imagine. Paths will cross that wouldn't have before. So I invite everyone to enter this journey of grabbing onto and filling yourself up with deep satisfaction and connection that you couldn't get, in my experience, from matter, basically Play-Doh, and that everything else that's made of matter that you can see and think of and hear and smell is simply nothing but Play-Doh, really, or adjacent to Play-Doh, and the kind of satisfaction a child gets from Play-Doh. There's some buzz there and some entertainment, but it's temporary and it goes, and they're left wanting more and more and something else and something different. And so there's really no difference in my experience and from what I've heard and have read from these ancient yoga meditation texts from ancient India. There's no difference between the child and the adult. So let's become real adults by giving ourselves real and genuine satisfaction. Hare Krishna.